Hey guys, Pat here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. As some of you know, I've been remodeling and expanding our solar room, getting ready for some new batteries coming in, and sometimes I get myself in a brain dead moment and I do mess up a cut. Well, right behind me is a screw up. So I was supposed to set my saw up for 9 inches because I needed to cut 9 inches off of the bottom of this 1/2 inch AC plywood. So I'm lining the whole interior of the building here with AC plywood. On the side here that is exposed to the elements right now is going to have 3/4 inch plywood to hang these batteries. I got 4 battery sets coming, and yes, I know they all equal 1 battery after you get done, but basically 4 strings of batteries, and they're 200 pounds a piece. So the company requires a 1/2 inch plywood backing on the wall. I'm going with 3/4 inch. I like overbuilding things, but anyway, behind me is a screw up. This is supposed to be a full 4-foot sheet, and I set my table saw up for 9 inches because I was going to cut 9 inches off the bottom, and halfway through ripping it lengthways I realized, oh yeah, I was supposed to cut 9 inches off the bottom, not 9 inches off the side. So if you guys ever do something like that, you might be able to get away with doing something what I'm going to show you and not have to go to the store and buy another expensive sheet of AC. So what I have going on here is I have some interior exterior wood glue. I use this for all my wood projects, and this is Tight Bond 3. I know there's another one called Gorilla Glue. I have some of that too, but what I've done here is I cut a 4-inch strip from another scrap, and that wasn't a screw up. I had to cut that one down. But anyways, I had a strip left over, and I cut a 4-inch wide strip of 1/2 inch plywood, and half of it goes behind this part, and half of it is going to go behind the part that I'd cut off on accident yesterday. I repaired it yesterday. I let it set for several hours yesterday in the warm and let it set all night, and so now the clamps are all ready to come off, and what I'll do is I will put this new sheet on there, and I got to cut this down too. I got to cut it down to match the sheet, so I got a couple more inches to knock off of this one, so we'll go ahead and do that. Got a whole bunch of these little clamps here I use for woodworking, and they're really handy to have. That's another little trick I like to do. Especially when I'm by myself, I can use my foot, put a little leverage on the bottom of the board and hold it in place while I'm adjusting it. I can adjust it left and right, and that works really well to get the top of the board nice and tight up against the ceiling, and hold this in place while I tack it with, in this particular case, it would be, I'm just putting staples in it, but for whatever fastener you're going to use, you got 2 hands. You can hold this in place. If you're working by yourself, you can hold this in place and be able to secure it where it's nice and tight up against the ceiling. But what I'm trying to do right now is get it where it's going to be in place, and then mark it, because I got about a 1/2 inch to take off the bottom. One nice thing to do is have to be ready before you start that project. Hold that in place and go down and mark it. First thing we'll do is we'll put some glue on this second piece. And now that this piece is actually flat up against the previous piece that I put up yesterday, I get my nailer ready. Now in a place where I know it's nice and flush together, I can put a fastener after I get my plywood all sucked together nice and with no gap in here. Now you turn this loose. It's a wide enough piece where a couple of staples will work. And I'll go through and a way that's better than this is to have a better memory and not screw up to start with. But if you do end up making a cut like that, you can always bring it back together again without having to put another stud back behind on your wall. This is just as good as the plywood, except for you see the little tiny crease, but that ain't no big deal. And another way would be to put dowels in it, but that takes longer to do. This way is just as good as a dowel, if not better. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Take care and God bless.